You excited? I'm excited. Gonna play some Space Engineers. I'm Kay. So, a lot of stuff's been done on the server. We've gotten a good amount of our base actually completely finished. Cargo, refinery, oxygen. I believe our hydrogen system. We've all of our tanks. I think we got 5 total now. All of our tanks are at 80, almost 88%. Majority of the mines are actually I've drilled through the ice, and we've actually got the majority of the mines going. Our elevator pretty much just sits there, but it is done. So we have our uranium, iron, and cobalt that way, I believe. No, not cobalt. Uranium, iron, and well, let's see. Uranium, iron, and gold. Ahead, we've got our iron, nickel, and cobalt. Down this little tunnel, we've actually got 2 mines off of it, and I've got 2 more finished drilling out. It is a good ways. Can't stop fast enough. But we have our platinum and what is it? Platinum and our platinum and nickel, as well as to keep going that way. We also have to keep going that way. That's also going to allow us to get our silver, uranium, and cobalt if we wanted that one. So I haven't gotten all the way there. Let's go ahead and get our backpack. All right, so got my stuff back. As of right this second, I need to do the little rings in here, as well as place turrets on the roof of the, or on the top of the mountain, protecting the solar array. Probably could use a couple turrets in here. I did finally weld all this stuff. As you can see, a lot of the base parts has been finally welded. Fortunately, the conveyors that were here hooking up to our cryopods and med bay, because of the sorter block that I have preventing uranium from going into the reactors, they don't get any oxygen. So basically I just have to connect this from up here. I got a conveyor right there, so it shouldn't be that difficult. And I was going to bring this around anyhow so that it can connect to our airlock here, as well as the upstairs hangar. I'm coming up with different designs for this area here. My plan is instead of walling this entire structure with armor blocks, I'm just going to do it in glass. And every so often, just to give effect, like, you know, for structural integrity, I'm going to have armor blocks in the middle every, I guess, every 3. Well, with that said, you got to figure out this corner because it doesn't seem like I have enough room. But if I need to, I can just extend this out a little bit. Or I can shorten it. That will be blocked up. I just did that so I can bring my welder in here. As of right this second, we are not at war with anybody. Though, very shortly, I will go ahead and break off completely. Originally, I was going to have this as a neutral area, and it still may be neutral. But I do believe that I'm going to have this section of the moon not only as a neutral area, but I think I want this section of the moon to be PvP. As in, hey, somebody flies over here and let's battle. Of course, I got to protect our solar array. And I believe turrets, a couple missile turrets and a couple Gatling turrets that will take care of that. And as you can see from the name of the antenna that I have up here, it even says restricted area. So I'm letting everybody know that this is going to be a engage or be prepared to engage area. We've made a couple trips to Nemesis's manufacturing center. Gotten a bunch of, he's given us a bunch of nickel, iron, a bunch of uranium, which I refined a whole bunch of uranium when I was digging these out. So we can repay him with the uranium. This large miner ship, as basic as it is, does work. I built this with the sole purpose of just making coal. I didn't really use it, or didn't really plan on using it as an actual miner. It doesn't have very much rust at all. In fact, other than this all the drills, there's only one cargo container in this entire thing. And it's a small cargo container. So it don't hold very much at all. The drills do hold a good amount. I mean, they hold equivalent to a small cargo container. So it has worked. Gotten most of our ice from it. We've gotten a lot of uranium. Oof. Frame is real. Alright, so I'm going to continue taking care of all this. Getting a bunch of this airtight. And as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to start pressurizing the ship. Or the station. This area over here, I don't plan on pressurizing. I'm going to build an airlock over here, and this is going to be non-pressurized. There's no point. I won't come back here often enough. Unless I need to do repairs. I'm not going to come back here. Unless I want to throw a couple extra blocks. I'm not going to come back here. So, once this airlock is done, I think that's pretty much going to be it. For that area, anyhow. The reactor is pretty much done. It does need a vent, which I think I'm going to put one there. Needs to be closed up. I've got to figure out the color scheme. Majority of it's black, as you can tell. I don't know if I like the little red accents. I need to figure out how far the black I'm going to go up, then when I'm going to transfer over to the white. So it's quite possible this entire top area will just go ahead and be white. All the glass and the blocks at the bottom will be black. All this should work. In fact, how much? I've got 50 uranium in each one. That should be good for a while. So I won't have to worry about refueling those anytime. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish taking care of this and get an overall design for this. Once the base is done, with all the lights and everything, I think we're going to start focusing on fighting ships. Mainly small. Get a couple fighting scouts, get a couple things. Ships so we can take out and we can battle other players. I believe that PvP will probably be something that I'm going to focus on. I may build a large ship. Maybe not a battleship, but definitely like a little destroyer. Little cruiser style. But it'll be space oriented. It won't be atmosphere. Alright, be right back. So we're going to drop off some resources to fellow player. I had a bit of bad luck, so we're going to drop off some cobalt, especially since we've been taking a whole bunch of other resources, you know, from Nemesis. Since he's been helping us out, I figure I'd help out somebody else. Pay it forward type of thing. We're taking this to space now. Want to meet up with the jump ring, and then we're going to jump a good distance away. Alright, so we've lined up, and we're going to go ahead and dock with jump ring. And we are connected. How about that? Excellent. Alright, so let's go ahead and pump in the coordinate. Let's make sure our weapons are actually turned. Gonna fire since we're neutral, but just in case. In case there's an unknown block or So this is the original, very first uh, base that kind of set up outside of the start location. I think there's only one player still here. Everybody else has moved on. It's actually where we built our. Actually, hydrogen bomb. Gunny, unfortunately, I am unable to get into your car container. I'm just gonna place it on the ground if you wanted to grab it. I'll get the last little bit. Alright, and there's the last bit. Hope that helps out.
I hope so too.
Alright, so let's get away from the asteroid. And once we're a good distance from the asteroid, I think we gotta be a little bit away. And then it was let us jump. Head back. Ooh, don't have enough juice. Actually, we may if I use the jump rings jump drive. Oh, it wasn't far enough. Womp womp. Now we gotta wait for her for the jump drives to charge completely. Alright, well, I'm gonna head on back. And until next time, have fun.